This is your weekly trip to Paradise, Louisiana style, with Gary Risponi. Paradise, Louisiana is brought to you by Circle K. Taking it easy, Louisiana State Parks. Follow your outside voice to our parks and historic sites. Farm Bureau Insurance, Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, Louisiana Fish Fry Products, Veterans Help Foundation, Relief Windows, Experience, Quality, Service, Catering Cajun, creative catering from casual to corporate. Visit Baton Rouge, an authentic Louisiana experience. Murphy Law Firm, don't be a victim twice. And by CCA Louisiana and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament.
Welcome to this week's edition of Paradise, Louisiana. Here we are again from Spear Bait and Tackle on Sagan Lane. Got a special guest today. And I will say a special guest, some of y'all might not recognize him unless you have been a patron of ridandreel.com. 20-something years.
Hello.
Mike Lane. Mike, glad to have a special guest.
Thanks for having me over. I appreciate it.
Oh, we like to celebrate. I can't tell you how many times back when you first started, everybody rushed to ridandreel.com.
Yeah, I was the first one.
So tell us how you got started. Tell us a little history about ridandreel.com.
Well, to be honest, I didn't do it for business. I did it because I love fishing, and I worked for this computer company that was going to be an internet providership, and I wanted to learn something about the internet because I didn't even know what the internet was. And it hit right off the bat, and in the first couple of months, I got a couple of advertisers. They came to me, you know, because I was the first site for fishing in Louisiana in the summer of 1995. And then it took a life of its own, and it became extremely popular. And I spent
a lot of work too, huh?
Oh, I spent a lot of money on different things like the tide tables. I still think I have the best tide tables in the United States, whether you pay for it or whether it's free. And it's free on Rod and Reel, and I'm constantly updating that. But anyway, you know, before Katrina, which was a bump in the road, and I thought that was the end of the world, you know? And I said, man, it almost put me out of business for a while. And then everything was good, and I thought, well, at least that won't ever happen again. And then the oil spill happened. Oh my God. And that was really a terrible thing because you couldn't fish. Nobody could fish, you know, and when they finally could go back to fishing, people envisioned the fish covered in oil, and they didn't want to come to do charters down here for a long time. So it kind of changed the complexion of the whole business for a while.
You help fishing industry in Louisiana all the way because the internet worldwide.
Yeah.
You know,
oh, yeah.
You know, when people want to come to Louisiana, hear about our best red fishing, you know, you went to ridandreel.com. Let's go to the internet and see where they're biting.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
you a big part of tourism too.
Well, my goal with Rod and Reel was to nationally let people know how great the fishing is here in Louisiana because, I mean, we grew up here, we know what it's like. We got the best fishing in the whole world. Now, if you want to catch a species like, you know, you can go to Costa Rica and catch sailfish and stuff, and you can do more of that. But if you just want to catch speckled trout, redfish, flounder, and offshore species, we got them all, you know? So that was my goal, to want to make everybody aware of it. And it worked real good. And I've constantly added things to my website. I've spent more money than any other company did because it doesn't make business sense, I don't think. My tide tables cost me $10,000 a couple of times because I had to change this and change that. But that's what I did, and you know what? I mean, I think most people go to me for the tides, you know, and they don't post as much as they used to. But, you know, it's still good. Everybody's good.
Well, you still at times made a little money with it.
Oh, yeah, I made some money.
And you get some advertising because they still,
yeah.
And it's still valuable because
yeah.
there's still people still go to ridandreel.com. And you got Wanda right now working with this.
Well, I brought Wanda Stewart in because she's a social media expert, and I didn't know anything about social media. Okay, right. And when she first started telling me about it, I'd blow her off, you know. And after a while, I started to say, well, you know what?
They're doing the same thing with us, with our sponsors. Some of our sponsors say, you ain't got enough social media. I got you know, we got a website.
Yeah.
I answer every email I get. I get emails from all over with pictures.
Yeah.
But everybody at 72 years old, you better learn.
Well,
You
yeah.
better learn.
Well, either that, you better partner up with somebody that knows. And you know how Wanda is. Wanda's a hard charger. She talks. It's hard to get a word in, right?
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, she knows what she's
Yes, sir.
talking about. So anyway, I brought her in as a partner, and she's doing great. And she loves to fish. Well, she lives to fish. You know, that's a big thing.
What makes rod and reel, how it stayed on so long, and what makes you right now still popular?
Well, my dedication to knowing what the fisherman wants, like the tide tables, Solenar tables. I have a database of all the oil rigs in the Gulf of Mexico, which I had before I made my rewrite, and it took me a while to gather up enough money to redo it. But the way I did it this time is there's files from the federal government that I bring in and read, and then I create a list like once a week of all the oil rigs, and it shows which ones are still there, and it shows which ones have been removed.
Let's take a break, and we're going to come back and talk a little bit more
Okay.
what you got coming in the future.
Okay.
And
Very
from
good.
Mike Lanes, rodandreel.com, and
Don't leave the dock without us.
that's what I'm talking about. We'll be right back with more Paradise, Louisiana.
Stay tuned for more Paradise, Louisiana. Voted Best of Louisiana Outdoors 3 years in a row.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. We believe you deserve a quality job.
Benny's Unlimited Wash Club memberships start at $14.99 a month. Wash, rinse, and repeat every day. Join Benny's Unlimited Wash Club at one of Benny's 7 locations.
Ask me about my Tempur-Pedic.
Ask me how fast I fall asleep.
Why not talk to someone who's sleeping on the most highly recommended bed in America?
Ask me about staying asleep.
Tempur-Pedic owners are more satisfied than owners of any traditional mattress brand.
Ask me how it feels after 10 years.
Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America.
Ask about Tempur-Pedic at Olin's, where you know you always get the guaranteed low price. Olin's is the only store in Baton Rouge and Lafayette with the full line of Tempur-Pedics.
Well, the reason why I would recommend him because he's trustworthy. I mean, attention and love and respect of who you are, what you are, and the purpose why you came, he honors that. Once you're with Murphy, you got a friend.
The perfect event calls for the perfect spread of authentic Cajun cuisine. And Catering Cajun has the planners, packages, and chefs to ensure your event is long remembered. For weddings, corporate lunches, or anything in between, give us a call.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. Back with Mr. Mike Lane from rodandreel.com. Mike, you know, we covered the history. What we got coming in the future from Rod and Reel?
What I'm working on now, exposure is everything. And you and I both are trying to learn how to expose people and make it easier for them to be on social media as well as with us. We can't just be an island unto ourselves. So I'm working with my programmer so that when a post goes up on Rod and Reel, it automatically gets distributed to all of the social media sites that are represented by Rod and Reel, so that one post goes everywhere. And of course, then the person that made the post will get an email that encourages them to send the content of this post to their
How old are you, Mike?
saltwater. 69.
I'm 72.
Yeah, 69.
My honey, well, you know, where are we going to find time?
Well,
Let
I'll be
somebody
honest.
else do it.
Yeah, I pay people. I can't, all the programming's beyond me now. I can't do it. So I have a programmer in India that does the work, and he's a brilliant man, and then Wanda does the selling, and I just, you know, take care of the things behind the scenes, keep the site running, and to handle technical issues, you know. She's my contact to the world. He's my programmer. And then thank you for having me on the show and talking a little bit about Rod and Reel. I mean, you know, every little bit helps.
You're a legend.
You know?
You're a
Well,
legend. I don't want to blow your head
well,
up
we
too
both-
much.
you ain't
You
worried
and I
about that.
disagree on some things.
Yeah.
We talking about saltwater intrusion, and we talking
Yep.
about diversions.
Yeah.
You know, you had a thing where you was pushing about broke you.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit. When you first got started with that, you didn't think the diversions were good. Probably still don't. We disagree on some of that.
Yeah.
Tell us what happened with that.
Okay,
right
well,
now.
Jody Dunmore came to me with a map, and he showed me on the map all the places, because I used to film Jody on my show a lot.
Jody supplies fishing report and hunting reports to us right now.
Jody's a heck of a fisherman. He's a great guy. But anyway, he showed me on the map all these places we used to go and catch limits real early and, you know, get 2 or 3 shows in a day. He says, there ain't no fish there left. They nothing. It's all gone because of the freshwater intrusion. And he kind of, you know, he got me started. And then me and another fellow named George Ricks founded the organization of Save Louisiana Coalition. And I worked on it for 2 years. Man, I lost 2 girlfriends, I lost some customers, and I really worked hard. I did a lot of programming, and we went to all these meetings and talked, and I finally came to the conclusion, just me personally, that I had made my contribution. And that's my last crusade. I was involved with LNG years ago. I got a meeting with the governor, you know, so I mean, I think I'm pretty persuasive. But then again, the issue was so big, and there's people on both sides. And you know what?
Like me, I'm at Ron Lambert them and them watching what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, what encourages me is people are not self-serving.
Yeah.
See that? You worried about the fishing industry.
Yeah.
Ron's worried about the future too.
Yeah.
But when they're worried about the right reason, sometimes we're going to come to a right answer.
Oh, I agree.
We better pray on it and think about it and study it. Don't be scared. Don't put your head in the sand.
Oh, no.
So
well,
I'm
I tell you what, I'm done with all that. I'll talk about it a little bit, but I'm not as adamant as I used to be.
I still want your opinion.
Well,
anytime I'm around, you and I go back. What's your favorite fishing right now? If somebody takes you and said, let's go, Mike, we're going fishing.
Big trout. That's what I like to catch.
Okay.
More than anything. I used to like to go catch tuna, but I'm too old for that now. But big trout, I can still handle them. And redfish are fun.
What's your best fish to eat? Your tuna?
You know what? They're all so good. We are blessed with fish here. Everything we have, I mean, out in the north, whatever, they eat bluefish. I wouldn't eat a bluefish. You?
I don't know. I found how hungry I am.
No, man.
And who cooks
with all the good fish
we got? Some good cooks.
Well, that's true. You're right. I mean, nutria and all this other stuff. But I don't know. I like them all. I love, you know, the only way I like speckled trout is fried. Redfish you can cook many different ways, and tuna on the grill. You know, we're just blessed. And that's one of the things I tried to promote on my website is how great the fishing is here in Louisiana.
Tell them one more time how to get in touch with rodandreel.com and tell them where you can find Mike Lane.
Okay, well, you just go on your search bar and put in RODNREEL.com, and it'll take you right there. And I think one of my major features is the tide tables. It's great. I got Solinar tables. I got the offshore rigs, you know, and we got reports. We don't have as many as we used to. We used to get 25, 30 a day. Now we get 4 or 5, you know, and but there's useful stuff, and people still love it.
Send him your report. Send him a report.
Okay, well, the only report I got is general, because I don't fish like I used to. I used to fish 2 or 3 times a week. Now I fish once or twice a month. But the speckled trout are hard to come by nowadays, and the redfish are everywhere. So if you go, be prepared to catch redfish.
Stay tuned.
Okay, Brett, safety and car insurance.
Never scored a safety. That's defense. But go on, please.
Yeah, defensive. That's exactly how you should drive.
There is no such thing as a defensive drive. Offense makes the drive.
Oh, I mean when you're on the road.
But it doesn't matter, home or away.
Okay, clearly I'm striking out here.
That's baseball.
Get great auto rates from Farm Bureau Insurance. Call your agent today.
In Louisiana, our state parks are the perfect family destination. With nearly 180 miles of trails through park grounds and historic sites, you can endlessly explore nature, try some kayaking or world-class fishing, then find the perfect campsite or settle into a cozy cabin. Louisiana is calling. and she's using her outside voice. Plan your escape today at www.lastateparks.com.
Well, the reason why I would recommend him because he's trustworthy. I mean, attention and love and respect of who you are, what you are, and the purpose why you came, he honors that. Once you're with Murphy, you got a friend.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
The best part about being a member of a Touchstone Energy Cooperative is that it's your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. This is the guy we've been waiting to point the finger at, and we want to blame him and praise you. Larry Reynolds with the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, waterfowl study leader for years. How long have you been with Wildlife and Fisheries?
I've been with Wildlife and Fisheries for almost 15 years. I've been heading the waterfowl program for 12 years.
Larry, we've had you on Paradise, Louisiana, other shows you quoted in the paper. This has been a very unusual year.
Yes, it has.
It started out, y'all did the flyover Monday and Wednesday before opening day, and Monday and Tuesday opening day, and then all of a sudden, you know, the articles come out, because they come out 4 or 5 days later, and it says doom and gloom. Worst count.
Worst November survey on record, yes.
That's right.
Yes.
What happened?
But it was incomplete. Because of the weather that week before the season opens, I was only able to fly the 17 southernmost lines, which is the southwest part of the state. And then I only got to fly 2 half-a-days. And so that's all we had before the season opened, and it was terribly low. It was 50% lower than the lowest Southwest Louisiana survey on record for November. It was very few number of birds. And how do we know that it was a very few number of birds as opposed to some issues with the survey? Was because the mottled duck estimate was actually higher than the year before on those same 17 lines. So we know the survey was fine. We fly the same lines, we fly them in the same way, it's the same people making the estimates. And the mottled duck survey was 2,000 higher than it was the year before. But the rest of the birds weren't here. We hadn't had a major migration.
To comment somebody like me that look at all them numbers, they hadn't got here yet. But
right.
To add some credits to what you're saying.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to put out a report. So I put out a report the Friday before the season opens, but wasn't able to fly. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful that cold snap came through just in time to at least make the opener pretty good for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, well, I call Ryan Lambert, I always call all the people around just to get a little report before it happened. He said, man, it ain't looking good. It's looking good. Well, you know, opening morning, I got messed up, got sick. And I started calling around. The only bad report I got was Delacroix. Well, I was supposed to be behind everybody else. Ryan was ecstatic. So,
good deal. Good deal.
You'll give credit to your report, but they had a lot of high water. Now, all that high water, that hurricane brought a lot of southeast wind, and all those areas had a lot of high water.
Well, there's a lot of high water everywhere.
Ducks got in there.
Yeah.
but they couldn't stay there because they couldn't get to the feed.
They're not going to eat, and that's what was really disappointing for me in this first split, because we had what I believe were excellent habitat conditions along the coast. We had really good moist soil plant growth, lots of seed producing annuals. Catahoula Lake looked terrific, but then we got all this water, and when I say we got all this water, I mean record amounts of water across a large area. River stages extremely high, lots of flooding up and down the flyway. My particular duck lease, water was 3 inches above the lip of my blind. And so there was lots of water everywhere. And that's not necessarily a bad thing for ducks or duck hunters if we've got birds. But as I think most hunters would agree, we've had a pretty weak migration. We've had a delayed migration. Even as recently as last Monday, a day that I actually got out to hunt, most of what I saw were blue-winged teal, mottled ducks, shovelers, not a lot of your typical migrants. But you talked about this being a strange season. That cold front that we got before the season opened was fast-moving and pretty harsh. Short-lived, but fast-moving and pretty harsh. And you should see the reports of sea ducks being killed, much more than I've seen in the past.
What's a sea duck?
Sea duck.
In the coast.
Scoter.
I know where you read about them in the Northeast and all over.
Yeah. Scoters, long-tailed ducks, or what we used to call old squaws, golden eyes. These are typically birds that we will see on the January survey in the open bays and coastal habitats in Louisiana.
Talking about Grand Bay down in Venice.
Talking about Breton Sound, Johnson Bayou, right. Offshore. We'll see them on the surveys, and a few of them will be killed every year. I'll get reports of black scoters or white-winged scoters or an old squaw here or there. But right now, during this first split, I have reports of dozens of black scoters being killed. Johnson Bayou, Henderson Swamp, Breton Sound, LaBranche Wetlands, Lake Pontchartrain. I've had 2 reports of old squaws, long-tailed ducks, from southwest Louisiana, Pecan Island and Johnson Bayou.
Which is another, you're talking about Lake Pontchartrain, and we had a down years of scaup. Are they making a comeback? Or?
Well, last year was terrific for scaup. There was a lot of scaup harvested, and we're killing a few this year, but it's not looking like it was last year. Scaup harvest is really highly variable in this state. We haven't really figured out why. We do have some hints. A master's student at LSU did some work with food habits on scaup on Lake Pontchartrain, and he has linked the cycle of abundance of small clams in Lake Pontchartrain to scaup abundance. And typically the abundance of those small clams comes in years after a hurricane. And so we've got some insights, but so far this year it's just been a pretty slow first split.
Let's jump around real quick.
Sure.
I'm gonna give you some areas. Good reports from Cherry Ridge, Welsh, Gaydon. They had a pretty fair year.
Good deal.
And then marsh areas, Duck Saunier and them had a fairly good season in the marsh.
In the marsh.
There's a big difference in the rice field and the marsh. When I had a lease in Gaydon, Klondike, we get a southwest wind, I had ducks, because they'd run them off the coast in the marsh.
Yeah.
But if I didn't, you know, we might kill speckle batters, but we didn't have the duck because they would leave our ponds and go to the marsh. What's coming out of the west? What are you hearing right now from the west, or southwest?
Most of the reports I'm getting are hit and miss. The opening weekend, everybody was really happy because they read my report. They read the doom and gloom, as you called it, but yet they had a pretty good opener. But it fell off to extremely slow, and so now the reports I'm getting are kind of hit and miss. Even the guys that are reporting killing birds pretty regular are talking about it being slow, a few birds in the air, a lot of blue wings, shovelers, not as many gadwalls as in the past. And then there are a few spots where the cover seems to be a lot thicker, where people are taking mallards pretty regular. in Southwest Louisiana. But most of what I'm hearing, and we always have to temper that what I hear compared to what you hear, is that most successful hunters do not contact me. And so it's clear that people in my position up and down the flyway get reports that are less successful. They get more feedback from hunters that are less successful.
Complaining.
And as much as we all want the most accurate information available, and you just made a plea to people that are reading magazines and watching television shows, it's not going to happen because hunting today is so competitive for good spots, for good leases, that people that are successful
try it anyway.
have no benefit to reporting that success.
They're going to try it anyway.
All right,
you're prove you wrong.
Okay.
I've been trying to prove you wrong 15 years. No, but I'm not really.
All right.
Now we're going to come back. We're going to have some fishing, something coming on later on. But I want to come back and we're going to jump. We're going to jump ahead and talk about some of these other places that got ducks.
Okay.
And what the prediction for the upcoming year. Stay tuned for more Paradise, Louisiana. Mr. Larry Reynolds with the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. Waterfowl study leader. Boy, that sounds important. It is.
There's no better way to cool down this summer than with a delicious thirst-quenching Polar Pop Cup from Circle K. The Polar Pop Cup is the coolest way to beat the heat. Fill your Polar Pop Cup up with the flavors you crave in crushed or cubed ice. Nothing stays cold longer, so you can stay refreshed all day long. Stop in Circle K today for an ice-cold Polar Pop Cup. Polar Pop Cup, only at Circle K. Take it easy.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. We believe you deserve a quality job.
So what are you going to do with the speckled trout?
That's right.
There's just no doubt about it that this is a place where food is created differently from anywhere else in the world because it just couldn't happen anywhere else. We're a culture made up of so many different people, love of ingredients, love of cooking styles, and they all right here. At the end of the day, that's all Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. Welcome back to our first split report from Mr. Larry Reynolds. Larry, let me take care of a little homework here real quick. You know, these are the duck pictures I got this past week and some of the other reports I got. I'm gonna start off with Welsh right now. Brad Maha sent me sent me a picture. Mark Maha sent me a picture of his son and his granddaughter, Isabella. We have a big push. We want to get as many young ladies in the outdoors, and Isabella's another one of them, hunting with her daddy, fishing with her daddy. She is a true outdoor woman. Isabella, here's some limited ducks they killed in Welch, Louisiana, in the Southwest.
Nice hunt.
The Port Barry, I got all my family right there. They've been killing them ducks in Port Barry now. You can give me a report. Why is Port Barry all of a sudden they got ducks everywhere? And right up at 71, there's none ducks. Whiteville, getting great reports. They're killing ducks. Here we are right now. Port Barry, my brother and them covered up. I mean, they're not limiting out every day, but they're having fun. They're hunting every day. When I name some of the people you can see in these pictures, my grandson Blake and my son-in-law, they're dog casters. You notice we put a lot of dogs in our photos. You know how many hunts they save? You know how much work they save, especially in these big fields or in that swamp? You know, I talked to you a few years back. I don't know, it might be 10 years, I don't know. But I talked to you, I said, why can't somebody hunting with a legitimate retriever, how come they can't get at least 3 ducks per blind? Because they save more than that. What you think about it? That's another question.
Well, you're talking about things that hunters choose to do within the existing regulations. And regulations are put together for everyone. And so when we start making special allowances for people that like to do particular things, like shoot ducks on the water instead of in the air, because that reduces the number of cripples, or anything else that hunters themselves may choose to do.
Is it illegal to shoot a duck on the water?
It is not illegal to shoot a duck in the water. In fact, I've met hunters that think it's more ethical and more sporting to shoot a duck on the water.
Best way to shoot a cripple.
It's just one of those things. A retriever is, you're talking about to an overweight 57-year-old man who knows the value of a retriever out there. But it's still up to each individual hunter to decide how he's going to pursue game within the regulations set for all of us.
Here's another group of pictures all coming from Port Barry. Pat Anderson, Larry the Straps, and Duke. You ever went to Duke's restaurant? That man will go hunt all morning and go back and cook all day and night. He is an amazing man.
Power.
He trained his dog, Hank. Duke, if y'all ever around that area, you can stop by in one of the restaurants and talk to him about duck hunting, fishing, whatever. He's a true outdoorsman and a true gentleman. Also, former world champion, oyster shucker. You ever watch him shuck an oyster? It's unbelievable. I know I ate many of them.
Multi-talented people.
Look,
amazing.
This is what to my heart. Jackson Scott, his first duck, he was hunting with Louis Dijon. Louis Dijon, longtime hunter, he's the owner of Beamer Senior, most decorated dog in North Louisiana. He won the Nationals 9 or 10 times. We did a little story on him. Well, this is Bo Jr. His dog is named Deuce. But Junior, the second, Deuce, him and Jackson, by the way, Jackson Scott is the son of my goddaughter, Lewis's daughter. So I'm really proud of that. Congratulations, Jackson. Keep sending Uncle Gary those pictures. Delacroix, Mike Bench, singing the blues. He says a lot of people claiming limits, but he says staying there a long time and they're shooting well. He says been the worst first split he's seen in years and years. He's been there 50-something years.
Wow.
So what's your take on Delacroix?
No, same thing. Same thing. The reports I've got, I have friends that have leases out in Delacroix that had a pretty average opening weekend, but then it's fallen off to nothing.
Same way with Hopedale. My grandson and them did well. Mm-hmm. People I know were killing them few, but it's not.
I got a report from Hopedale just yesterday about the first split, and those hunters said they're killing pretty regular. But they're taking buffleheads, they're hunting hard, moving around. They said the places where they're having success are the isolated ponds that they have to work pretty hard to get to.
My problem is water hyacinths. We thought the high water took them out. Mike and them are spraying and they're using them choppers and cleaning up some of the to Rose to get back there. I just haven't been there. I'm gonna go where them people got water and got ducks.
There you go.
That's one good thing about being a TV host. You know,
You get invites, you
invited,
do,
yeah.
huh?
As long as you got to make yourself, you stay well, don't get sick.
Okay.
I told you, we're gonna come back there. Now, Highway 71, you know, great report from Whiteville. That's right up the road. Pat Morrow used to be on the wildlife fishing, all them people. My grandson's future family up there, they had it unbelievable. Killed 170 ducks in the first 2 weekends, or the first 2 weeks. They doing good. But then Highway 71, Buck Kessler and them saying, you know, all those people over there, Lamar Advertising, and got those leases, not well at all. Averaging 6, 7, 5 ducks. And they figured out they got a lot of high water.
Yeah.
Buckley said he thinks it's the weather.
Well, the weather's been pretty stale, especially through the middle part of the first split. Not a lot of wind.
80 degrees yesterday.
Oh yeah, it's just ridiculous. But it's like that every year, Gary. Every year there are places that do well, there are places that don't do well, and believe me, if I could consistently figure out where there were going to be ducks when, you'll know when I get that ability, because I'm gonna quit this government job. I'm gonna sell that information to the highest bidder.
Can I go to work for you?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Look,
It is. It's a mystery every year. People don't know why they do well. Some places it's obvious. You lose your grass. You've got real high water. You know, it's pretty obvious. But other years, it's just where the birds get set up, where they feel comfortable.
Top Gun, Mer Rouge.
Mer Rouge.
Northeast Louisiana. Getting some birds coming from there. Kobe Daniels always calls me, well, ask me to go there early because speckled belly looked like you in Argentina at first. This year it wasn't there. You told me yourself that some of the speckled bellies were held up in Arkansas. They had more
geese than ducks in their first aerial survey.
Some of your people from Arkansas now, I have a lot of people go up there every year, had bad hunts.
Right.
Somebody had good. What are you hearing from Arkansas?
Arkansas, I'm hearing the same thing I'm hearing here. They were extremely excited about the opening of the season. They have water. Every place is flooded, unlike the droughts they've had the last couple of years. Had that nice cold front right before the season, so there was a tremendous amount of excitement. And again, they had a pretty good opening weekend, but it's fallen off to difficult hunting. But the number of geese in that first aerial survey, more geese in Arkansas than they had ducks, and right at 400,000 speckled bellies. Tremendous goose resource
Going
in
back
Arkansas.
to Whiteville, we're talking about ladies in the outdoor. Anderline Miller. This come from my good buddy over there, Mr. Mouton. He sent me this picture of this lady. Her and her dog Reeve. Not only did she blow a duck call, but they tell me she's one of the best fiddlers around. Thank you again so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
I apologize, y'all, if we got long-winded, but I'm not apologizing for giving y'all this kind of information. Thanks for Larry, and we're going to do a hard work. Don't forget the proposal I made about give us some good reports. Y'all send me good reports to the pictures. I appreciate that. Keep that up. You know, I know some people, you're not giving away your secret spots, but you're giving me an area. That's good enough. So, Larry, thank you one more time.
Appreciate you asking me on, Gary.
Whenever we come back, whenever you got something real good and you want to come make a stop,
I know I got an
I'll
open
even
invite.
come to you.
All right.
Come and give us some maps and some drawings or whatever. Stay tuned for more Paradise, Louisiana. We'll be right back. Superior Bait and Tackle, Segan Lane, Baton Rouge.
Hi, I'm John Jackson, and you know we always say we gather our groceries out the bayou. Whether it's freshwater, saltwater, catfish, redfish, you have tons of choices when it comes to fish in Louisiana. But when I fry fish, there's only one choice, and that's Louisiana fish fry. My new favorite, the Cajun fish fry, has the perfect amount of cornmeal, corn flour, and the perfect mix of spices that really bring the heat. Hey, if you're craving Cajun, go look for the bright red bag at your local grocers. Bring home the taste of Louisiana with Louisiana Fish Fry.
The perfect event calls for the perfect spread of authentic Cajun cuisine. And Catering Cajun has the planners, packages, and chefs to ensure your event is long remembered. For weddings, corporate lunches, or anything in between, give us a call.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. We believe you deserve a quality job.
Okay, Brett, safety and car insurance.
Never scored a safety. That's defense. But go on, please.
Yeah, defensive. That's exactly how you should drive.
There is no such thing as a defensive drive. Offense makes the drive.
Oh, I mean when you're on the road.
But it doesn't matter, home or away.
Okay, clearly I'm striking out here.
That's baseball.
Get great auto rates from Farm Bureau Insurance. Call your agent today.
In Louisiana, our state parks are the perfect family destination. With nearly 180 miles of trails through park grounds and historic sites, you can endlessly explore nature, try some kayaking or world-class fishing, then find the perfect campsite or settle into a cozy cabin. Louisiana is calling, and she's using her outside voice. Plan your escape today at www.lastateparks.com.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. Real quick, Mike, you know back in the old days, you told me you used to duck hunt.
Yeah.
Deer hunt. We were talking about Jody Dunwall.
Yeah.
Captain Jody Dunwall. Well, you know, he takes a little break during the holidays and
Yes,
the weather's bad.
he loves his duck
He
hunting.
does his duck hunting, but now he's deer hunting.
Oh, yeah, well, that's what I meant.
At Rock Hill Hunting Club, he sent us some pictures. He sent us a good buck he killed, and then
Yeah.
he sent us a doe. So, Jody, thank you for that. But me and Mike discussing, you know, you take Mike, y'all made a lot of shows. You need to take me on a fish trip.
Take us both.
Pretty soon.
Take us both.
That's right. We're going to do it soon.
There you go.
All right. My good friend.
You'll even get to fish.
I hope so. You going to shoot cameras?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
Well, Chris is
Now,
going
look,
to shoot.
last week I was talking about Grant Austin and his dad, Gray, on his first bow hunt.
Yeah.
And you keep sending me those pictures and send them by email is the best way to do it. Linda and Mike Clark, my representative up there in the Alexandria area.
Yeah.
They're big hunters, turkey hunters, deer hunters, bass fishermen, sac-a-lait fishermen. Linda and Mike, what a great outdoor couple they are. Both of them killed deer. They're two nice bucks in they are. They killed up there in the central part of the state. Ron's, now I'm going to give you a chance. That's an Italian name. I'm going to let you try it one time.
Spinoli? Oh,
Sinopoli.
Sinopoli. Okay.
Sinopoli.
Okay.
Beautiful 8-point, 185 pounds coming from Alabama. And then my buddy, my great buddy,
Yeah.
Bobby Black, who I'll be duck hunting with,
Yeah.
they ain't had no ducks up there around.
Really?
And there's he over there in Tenshaw Parish. But his nephew, Davis Black, on the farm killed a nice buck. So that's the deer report. Now, instead of going for another break, we're going to jump over to the fishing report right now.
Okay.
Now,
Well, before you do, I'd like to say something about Jody Dunmore. He's probably killed 110 deer in his life as of now. I mean, and let me tell you, I've been duck hunting with him and rabbit hunting and deer hunting.
He hunts in Alabama. he hunts in Arkansas, the same place I hunt.
Yeah, he does.
Over there in York.
And I can tell you this, when he pulls the trigger, he's killing something. He's a good shot, man.
He brings the fish in, too.
Yeah, he does.
Thank you. He keeps sending us pictures. Now, I'm going to go to a fishing report right now, because I've been to date. And Golden Meadow. We're getting a lot of reports coming from Golden Meadow. KD has been fishing that area, been catching a few fish. He didn't send us no pictures this week because he's been so busy fishing, you know. But Kyle Lott and Jason McMillan, the bull reds were running. Look at the picture of this big bull red they were coming. And Fushan Rudy Feliciano and his boys catching some beautiful specks, 18-inch specks. They're fishing at night under the light. Unbelievable. He didn't tell me what bait they were fishing, but they fish everything. But it's been better under the lights at night, I guess, when the wind is laying down.
Yeah,
but that speckled trout are in the marsh right now in the Golden Meadow.
That's
a lot
good.
of areas. Dulac, the Lodge. Are you getting any reports from Dulodge?
Not really. I don't have a lot of following out that way.
Right, all right. And then over there in the Lake Bourne area, Lance Hidalgo here. My good friend Stuart Hauser sent me the picture of Lance Hidalgo. this is a true story right now. All over there in Lake Bourne, Lake St. Catherine, all those areas right now, the water, they find clear water, and the wind that lays down, they're catching them on live shrimp, and they catch them on a matrix shad. Hottest color, same thing has been in Lafitte.
Yeah.
It's been a clear and chartreuse tail matrix shad. Lake Pontchartrain, believe it or not, catching them trolling.
That's good.
Now, Ken Lambert, my friend over there, he's been trolling the subdivisions where he. Also, Mike Gallo.
Yes.
Mike Gallo, they're feeling the same thing, using a rattle trap or a different type bait.
Yeah.
But the chrome and blue rattle trap with a squid trailer, they trolling in them subdivision right now. They got D-walls. They had, what's his name, had a great article in the Advocate last week.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Todd Mason. He had a great article, and he went with Mike Lane. Mike was telling you.
Mike Gallo.
It's constant, huh?
He went Mike Gallo.
Mike Gallo, right, where'd it go? Excuse me. Mike Gallo was telling him about it's constants. The depth is constants, you know, the wind, how it affects, and tide affects it some.
Sure.
But you can find where there's grass, no grass, and they're fishing in subdivisions right now, and they're still catching fish, protecting them from the bad winds.
Mike's a great technical fisherman.
He
He knows this is, you know, he says to me one time, you see all that area right there with green stuff, and then there's those roseau canes. He says the reason for those roseau canes right there is because the bottom right there is really hard, and then we're going to catch fish right there, and we did.
I keep telling everybody, besides them guys at Toledo Bend that do it in that 25-foot of water, Mike in saltwater, we had drop shot.
Yeah.
He made it popular.
Yeah,
I don't know if he invented it, but he made it popular. And everybody, he's still fishing all time of year. Whether he's fishing the bridges, whether he's fishing drop-offs in Lake Catherine. And talking about Lake Catherine, we got a bunch of reports coming from Lake Catherine. Miss Angie over there is doing some unbelievable work. And
that's a pretty
marina people, they're using live shrimp and plastics. And she's fishing, they're saying they're fishing the northeast side of Lake Catherine, on the northeast shore. They're fishing in a little bit deeper water. They're catching redfish and speckled trout. Now, here's some pictures, but she told me to be sure and mention this one guy. He's a DA. He comes a couple times a year, and he's a very good friend, and I like to know all the DAs all over the state. Not that I'm bad, but I might want to help you.
Come in handy.
I might help you.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's great.
Yeah, but
that's good.
You know, but Richard Martin, I can't even say his name. Richard Martin, he's from DA in DeRidder, Louisiana.
Yeah.
She's very special. You look at some of the places she's catching fish right now is in Lake Bourne.
Yeah.
And all that whole basin right now in Pontchartrain. Now, I know you're getting reports from there.
Yeah, we do. And it's turning on over there.
Yeah, but trolling is another way they're catching them. And I wish I got him that big 3/4 inch rattle trap, the blue and chrome, and they putting a squid trailer on behind it.
Really?
And they're catching them on the front and the back sometimes.
doing.
So, Bayou Bienvenue, Perry and Karen Barras, he fishes over there, little guy. They fishing the drains. They're fishing 3 foot of water. They're fishing a matrix shad. Okay, he didn't give me the color, but I know he uses Creole shrimp a lot, and that's doing it. Now, we're going to get to a little something that's controversial before I get to freshwater, but Delacroix.
Yep.
Now here you and I are going to finally agree on something because they're talking about diversions. I've called some different people. In fact, before I come in here, I got off the phone with Jack
Payne. Yeah.
Jack Payne at Sweetwater Marina. And Jack was telling me that he was fishing. He said, I'm on the water right now. We're catching redfish. In fact, I almost got 10. I got one on now. He said, what you want? I said, where are the specs? He said, I had to go to the ship channel, find specs. We had to run to these lagoons. And I'm not catching a whole lot. I'm catching 35, 40, but we've been catching a few of them. He said, somebody come here, I'll tell them.
He said he caught the biggest trout he's ever caught down there recently.
Right.
Yeah.
And but that's what I'm saying. He's catching them trout.
Nice trout, but not many.
And he catches them on live shrimp. He fishes the matrix shad, Creole shrimp, one of his favorite.
Yeah.
Just catching them under a cork. But he told me, he said, where the fresh water's coming from, he said, the river's up this time of year. He says, and that fresh water, it ain't hurting the redfish.
No.
They're catching a few bass, but the bass ain't been as popular as they've been or as hot as they've been. But he says the Mardi Gras, the cut is running full. There's a lot of water coming through right now.
There is. And
It's
it gets
affecting
water
Delacroix.
every day. It gets water
And it's
all the
affecting
time.
Delacroix.
Yeah.
In the long run, you and I disagree.
Well,
it's going to pay off. It's going to bring silt in. It's going to bring some land back. But right now, if you want to know what's going on in Delacroix, Tom LeBlanc, same thing. He was over there catching redfish and catching inspect, catching one here, one there by accident.
Yeah. Well, Jack posts regular on Rod and Reel, and he tells the truth, you know.
Right.
So, you know, if you watch Rod and Reel, you'll be able to see what he's doing. He posts almost every day.
Let me look. I don't want to pass nothing up right now. But I talked to Stanley Fink, fences. I fish there all the time. He got his always. He's retired. He'll take you fishing. You call Stanley, and sometimes he's taking.
He's awesome.
He is unbelievable. He knows it. He said redfish uncommon.
Everywhere.
They're doing everything he wants. But he said he made a run yesterday. He said he went through Oak River, and they went to the bayous all the way to Oak River. They ran all the way out to Lake Amity and Lake
water.
John. He says, and then ain't catch trout.
No, the
But
water
they
was
catch it.
dirty.
The water was thickly dirty.
Yeah.
So
now you know, he's been posting on Rod and Reel almost since the beginning, and he writes the biggest and the best reports. And look, I mean, we're friends, but we're not great friends. You know, we know each other, and I fished with him a couple of times, but he's loyal to Rod and Reel, and I don't know why, but I'm grateful for him because his reports are very detailed.
Well, you thanking him right now, and I'm gonna thank him too.
Yeah.
For he took that phone call early this morning, and he told me he's waiting on me. Much time before I promised him, but I'll be going over there fishing with you. Won't be long. I promise you won't
You'll
be
enjoy
long.
it. He's
And,
definitely a dedicated fisherman.
Mike, you know, let me see. Let me do a little freshwater fishing, and then you and I are gonna close it out. We've been the longest show that I had probably this year, and I have a bunch of long ones. But look at this, fish, Sac-a-lait to Cranfords.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go look at my phone. I've been to find out where they caught these Sac-a-lait, but I don't know, but I'll give it to you next week. But they sent me a picture, and they like to pick on Uncle Gary, okay? They caught these big Sac-a-lait, and they know I've been trying to find out from reports. I know a few of them been coming from Lake Verret area, and they're all big. These Sac-a-lait here are big and beautiful, and look like they had some numbers.
Yeah.
I can't tell you where they are. I got a one tournament report, Lies and Lunkers, results of the East Pearl coming from the North Shore. They only had 10 teams, bad weather, 80% rain, the fog was unbelievable. We said it was very unsafe. They took their time. First place, James Harris and Chaz Hartzog. They had 8.58 pounds, and Big Bass at 2.98. Second was Brandon and Jeremy Anthony with 7.31. And third was Jay Breland and Matt Lee with 6.53. Their next tournament, you believe this, December 30th. Mike, now, I don't want to bring it up, but you and I had a mutual friend, but he was more than a mutual friend to you.
Yeah.
He was almost like your son.
Yeah. He's my buddy.
Gino, pronounce his last name for me.
I can't pronounce his last name. I called him Gino the G-Man because I never could pronounce his last name.
Gino.
Calcanoli or something I called him.
Where was he from?
Turkey. He's from Turkey, and he was
a talented young man.
He's 43 years old. I mean, that guy worked hard. He was full of integrity. He worked his buns off. You know, he had surgery one time for a hernia. He couldn't sit up. He laid down and edited the show, laying on the floor. That guy, he never missed a show. I mean, I loved that guy. I mean, everybody that met him loved him, and I'm so sad that he's gone. He passed last week.
Let's offer condolences to his wife,
well, of course,
and all his friends out there. There's a lot of people missing.
My name is Gino Calcanolo. I grew up in a coastal town in Turkey called Çanakkale. It is on a narrow strait in the northwest of Turkey from the Greek tale of Jason and the Argonauts. As a boy, I grew up swimming and diving, spearfishing, catching octopus and cleaning fish for fishermen. I saw the sea as a mesmerizing place, teeming with many different life forms. The sea brought me peace, love, understanding by accepting me in it. I developed relationships with the sea and its life. It was there that I learned that the creatures of the sea were as complex, emotional, interactive, and amazing as we are on land. I was able to relax there, contemplate my existence during those coming-of-age moments we all have. Then I saw the ocean the first time I crossed the Atlantic. It captivated me. I gazed at it for hours. It was a whole lot bigger than the sea I grew up with. I now see the ocean as I saw the sea, but with a whole lot more. I see the ocean as a liquid universe that surrounds us with everything it could give. Just as we are made of mostly water, I see the ocean as an extension of us. In the ocean, we glide through its surface, witnessing its amazing life and complexity, yet much of it is still unknown. I find that it is in the mystery of the sea where human takes a wrong turn by underestimating its gifts, yet overexploiting its beauty and resources, maybe causing it to stall and fall, eventually. As a teenager, I dove to ancient shipwrecks and cities, witnessing how throughout the human history we have benefited from and underestimated the seas and oceans. Decaying amphoras as evidence of our progress, beginning in the ancient times we so revere. Decaying oil, plastic, and other unnatural products as evidence that as a whole, we still don't recognize its value, beyond feeding our resource-hungry society. I feel a duty to call attention to it, in forms that regular, everyday people can understand and appreciate. I want them to really see the ocean. I see the ocean as a mesmerizing home base of Earth, challenging us to understand it, to reckon with it, giving shelter for its life, giving prosperity to us on land, only asking for respect and understanding in return, showing us daily how delicate its ecosystems really are, waiting for us to notice. The ocean still brings me peace. Diving in the depths still brings me clarity. The stresses of everyday life dissolve the moment I break the surface and descend below.
Paradise, Louisiana is brought to you by Circle K. Taking it easy, Louisiana State Parks. Follow your outside voice to our parks and historic sites. Farm Bureau Insurance. Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Louisiana Fish Fry Products. Veterans Help Foundation. Relief Windows. Experience. Quality. Service. Catering Cajun. Creative catering from casual to corporate. Visit Baton Rouge, an authentic Louisiana experience. Murphy Law Firm. Don't be a victim twice. And by CCA Louisiana and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament.